And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk. We're here on Monday nights on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live via Periscope, and we talk all things Brevard College Tornado Athletics, and glad you're able to join us again tonight. It's going to be a special edition of Tornado Talk where we're going to really take a deep dive into the Brevard College baseball program, and glad to be joined this evening by assistant baseball coach Rob Julian. Coach, thanks for joining the program.
It's always a pleasure to be here, Phil. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, fun to be able to talk some baseball here in November. And of course, as everyone knows, it's been the most unusual of years in terms of college athletics and so forth. But all that being said, Coach, you guys were able to put together a considerable fall practice for the Tornadoes. Can you kind of run us through what that fall practice looked like and what you all were able to accomplish?
Yeah, obviously we hated, the season getting cut short in the springtime, but COVID actually kind of helped us out a little bit where we got some more practice dates in the fall. Especially with the freshman class that we brought in, it was good to have more time with them, be able to inter squad a little bit more and kind of let the guys be themselves and do what they do. Obviously with following all the protocols and doing what we can do, breaking them up into some smaller groups throughout the day and things like that. We were able to, get a lot of work on all things considered. And it was probably the craziest time of my lifetime.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone in that category, Coach. But really pleased to hear that you guys were able to put together a considerable fall practice. Now, can you give us even more details, sort of like what was a typical week like as far as the practice schedule goes, and maybe even telling us more about those inter squads?
Yeah, for sure. We'd got them in the weight room as much as we could be. Obviously, with the protocols, everything's a little bit weird. So we were able to, do that in the mornings a lot of the times. And then throughout the day, we'd do some individual, hitting groups and pitchers would come and throw their bullpens during that time as well. So we could really focus, the practice time on more team stuff. And we were kind of fine tuning guys in those smaller groups. So that's what the typical, busy day, I guess I would call it, would look like. And then in terms of, the inter squads, we were able to play pretty much every weekend, whether it be a 6-inning game, a 9-inning game, just depending on how many arms had to throw and how many pitches they were gonna throw, and then we were able to get guys a lot of action. Obviously some injuries and some guys getting hurt, allowed some other guys to really step up during those inter squads and shine a little bit more. But being able to just play a lot and it helped us. I think that's the easiest way for us to see what we have really. You can do whatever you want at practice, be the best practice player in the world, throw the best bullpens, but if you can't perform when the lights turn on, you're not gonna help us a ton. So we really wanted to be able to inter squad a lot and let guys play and do what they do. And then obviously towards the end of the fall, we did our Blue-Black World Series. We had to cut it a little bit short, so we're going to try to finish it on that first weekend back, where blue team or one of the teams, I forget who, is up 3-2 right now, and it was kind of funny because the one team went up 3-0 in the series, where at that point all the pressure's on them. The team that's down 3-0 at that point, you're playing with house money. You're just trying to see how much you can extend it. It was cool to see the fight that they had and the way some of those games were won were exciting and we're excited to get out there and actually play somebody else in the springtime.
Great stuff. Message here from Coach Sheeran, the newly appointed head softball coach here at Brevard College. Yes, go BC baseball. So hyped for their season. Those two sports are I think if you go across college programs throughout the country that there's obviously some similarities between baseball and softball. You guys both play on a diamond and so forth, similar rules to an extent in that kind of thing. But it went even a step further this year. There was an interim coach situation in between head coaches. A veteran baseball coach who is a big part of the BC baseball coaching staff. Coach Steve Huckey lent his expertise to kind of help fill the gap there. Can you kind of talk about that, Coach? Maybe how, those kind of things can happen at Brevard College, where, two programs can help each other, and maybe how you do work with Bree and the softball program?
Yeah. Coach Huckey's the man, first and foremost. I've said that on here a couple times before now. He's a grinder, and he'll do what needs to be done to help, programs be successful. We're super excited that Coach Sharon's here now. She's going to do a great job, and she has already done a great job in working towards taking that program to where it's going to go. But yeah, it's there are some similarities, but they're two drastically different sports. I told I was doing weight room stuff with the softball team for a little while, and the first time I met with them, I said, "Listen, I know absolutely nothing about softball, so I'll never act like I do. So if we're doing stuff that isn't going to translate, tell me, because I don't know." Obviously, we play on a diamond. There's a home plate, 3 bases, a pitcher's mound. But the strategy that goes in softball is completely different. And obviously, a lot of credit to Coach Huckey for stepping in and having that role. And Angie Hughes also did. Angie Mascaro, rather. Sorry, Angie. Also stepped in and did a great job in helping until Coach Sheeran got down here, and we're just incredibly grateful to have people like that, and obviously our athletic director Miranda Nash does a great job, and she knows that if programs need help and if people got to step in, we're here to do that. We're one big family, and we're going to look out for our own.
Yeah, really kind of the beauty of small college athletics, and certainly the spirit of a place like Brevard College. NATO Nation continuing to show up here at the broadcast. Catherine Jucker, she's excited for Brevard baseball as well. The heart and the baseball emoji bracketing the words Brevard baseball. So appreciate NATO Nation tuning in to this edition of Tornado Talk. Now, Coach, you talked about fall practice, kind of how that all shook out. What about in terms of the roster itself of this year's club? Can you kind of clue us in, the dynamic of the club itself, returners, newcomers, strengths, perhaps areas that need some improvement?
Yeah, we have a pretty balanced team. We got some older guys. We have a pretty big freshman class. We brought in 17 guys that we're excited about. Obviously, some guys will be on later on tonight, but Jucker and Melton are kind of going to be 2 guys that stand out. JJ Wilkes is another one that he's had a really, really good fall, and he's continued to be a leader for us. In terms of as a whole, our guys, they work really hard. We credit our outfield group a lot more than is ever seen. They bust their butts every day. You never really have to get on them about stuff. The staff as a whole, we have some guys that we're going to rely heavily on, and we have some guys that are going to have to step up for us. I mentioned Melton, Nate Sanders, another kid that had a really good fall. Trenton Anderson's a freshman that we're really, really excited about. And then whenever you return, Scavato and Beaver and Hacker, in that group, we're gonna be able to do some things, and we're really excited on that side of things. The hitters are just gonna have to, we're gonna have to score some runs. However that may be, we got some exciting guys that we're pumped up about. But that's kind of gonna be our bread and butter. We're gonna have to pitch well and score some runs, and win ball games.
NATO Nation continuing to show up here. Carol Adams writes, NATO Nation forever. Always great to see you, Carol. Thanks for tuning in once again. And sounds like an exciting blend of newcomers, returners. Certainly the second year of you and Coach Victory and Coach Huckey's sort of philosophy, starting to gel in that kind of thing. Always recruiting. I know that you talked about the big freshman class.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit, maybe since your arrival, how the recruiting focus has perhaps evolved, whether that's a geographical focus or whatnot?
Yeah. Whenever we first got here, we didn't really have too diverse of a roster geographically. It was, I think, Jucker was our Florida guy. We had 2 Georgias, a South Carolina, and then I think the rest was predominantly North Carolina. And that's fine. There's good baseball everywhere. But we really wanted to kind of spread out and see what the South, what the other Southern states had to offer. And we've really tried to dominate Florida. There's so much baseball down there. Those high schools are so big. There's so many players. They can obviously play all year round, which helps. But that's been a big focus for us. We think that if we can go out and really dominate Florida and get the guys that we want to get from there, we're going to put ourselves in a really good place to be successful. Obviously we still have the North Carolina, South Carolina guys. And then I think we've got a couple actually Georgia guys coming in now in this next year's class. But as a whole, we're trying to get in the Sunshine State and dominate down there. You're a Miami guy, you get it. It's the baseball down there is crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, I'm a native of Miami, Florida, and I can tell you there's a ton of baseball talent down there, that's for sure. But there's also a ton of people who would love to spend a lot of time up here in the mountains of North Carolina. Oh, yeah. It's a popular vacation spot and vacation homes and all that kind of thing for people to escape the heat of Florida. And so I think you guys are really on to something as far as
you mentioned that. Like, whenever recruits come up from there, they're like, I just want to get away from the heat. It's been 95 degrees for the last 3 weeks. I was like, that sounds amazing, but I guess it gets old after a little while. So yeah.
That's right. When it's still 95 in November, you're ready for some relief. Well, that's good to hear. You guys are making things more geographically diverse as well. And as we know here at Brevard College, people can fit in right away no matter where you're from. You look over to the men's soccer team. I think at last count 17 or 18 different countries were represented. So certainly wherever in the world you may come from, Brevard College is a great spot to land, and cool to see that the baseball team is going that direction as well. Now, Coach, there's some obvious improvements, and we've been talking about this on Tornado Talk all season long in terms of the facility improvements here at Brevard College. You can't help but notice if you were to take a walk or a drive through campus, the different projects, whether it's the expansion of Ives Lamel Family Field, a new dormitory going up in the Villages area, and then also the new field house, which is now complete. It's a move-in situation now for the teams that are benefiting from it. And one of those teams is the baseball program at Brevard College. The Brevard College Tornadoes are going to have a brand new baseball clubhouse as part of that field house. Can you kind of describe to our audience from a baseball perspective the space that you all have now and maybe where you all are at in that process?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's ours all year round. I know at a lot of places, where I played at Allegheny, we had to share it with the men's soccer team for half the year. This is a space where it's ours all year round. Guys can leave all their stuff in there. We got some couches, some chairs, some TVs. So it's it is like a professional clubhouse, for the guys. A good place for, before a game, after a game, you can kind of get your mind right, decompress. I know there's a lot of times where when I was a player, you get done with a game and you just don't want to go back to your room. So it's a good place if they want to hang out and play some video games or just chill a little bit before they go back. It's a nice space that we're really, really excited about it. We tell some of the guys that if their roommates are catchers, your room doesn't have to smell like a catcher's bag. They can leave that there, and I know the guys are super excited about it. And as we were moving everything in, the guys that were helping us were real gung ho about it. It's a really nice space, and we're super excited. Everyone we've had on campus, since it's been done that we've taken in there, they love it, and it's gonna continue to be a big tool for us, moving forward.
Yeah, no doubt, in a perfect location right there, next to Gil Cohen Field. Now, I talked to Coach Victory earlier today, and he sort of previewed a little bit some new uniform combinations that are in the works. Yeah. And I know, players get excited about that kind of thing. Can you kind of tell our audience, the different uniform combinations perhaps we currently have and what might be in the works?
Yeah. Obviously, we got the new all whites last year that we love. We think they're really nice. The guys love them. Keeping them clean are a little bit of a different issue, but it's all right. And then we have a black top at the moment and a blue top. And then we're currently in the works of ordering a new black top and then a new blue top, along with some new pants for the guys. One of the things that I know matters a little bit more than it should is how you look. You look good, you play good. So we want to make sure that our guys, are out there and they have, some nice uniforms that we can be proud of. We can kind of show up and look good as well. But yeah, I think the first one we'll end up getting is the new black top. It'll be nice. It's a good look. And then we'll be able to wear that with either white pants or gray pants. And then our blue top, same thing. That'll probably be in the works to be here for next year. So by 2022, I guess that would be. We'll have 3 new, fresh, clean sets of unis, which is exciting for us.
Well, and certainly to round out any baseball uniform, you need the hat as well. Can you tell us what you have in that department?
We got the white hat, and then it's white, blue, with the NATO on it. Which we like. It's a clean look, especially when you wear them with the whites. And then we have a black with a blue bill with the blue tornado on it that we can kind of wear with black or with blue. And I think in the works, me and Coach are talking. I think if we got a black and blue and gray look, I think that would be nice as well. But we haven't settled on that yet. Sometimes we get in some discussions about what looks good and what doesn't. But we'll see. At the moment, we roll with those 2, and they look pretty clean with every combo that we could throw out there.
Last spring, there was a long-form feature story written about Brevard College baseball and specifically its culture and the culture that Coach Victory, yourself, Coach Huckey, the staff and administration here at Brevard College is trying to, bring forth with the Brevard College baseball student athletes. I'd love to kind of discuss that further in case folks missed that piece. Mm-hmm. And, there was a couple of themes that in particular came out during that story. And the first one is one day better. Mm-hmm. I know that's sort of a mantra that you all use with the Brevard College Tornado baseball team. Can you tell us more what that means exactly, one day better?
Yeah, it just means that we're trying to get 1% better at something every single day. A lot of this that we do, and I'm going to, as we go through our values and stuff, it's going to always end up going back to the weight room because that's where the base of our program is. It's we're trying to go in and get better every day. I tell guys that in our sport where we only get so many days to be with them, we can't afford to take a step backwards. We always have to focus on improving on the day before. And the moment you take a step backwards, we're in trouble. Just with the amount of time that we actually do get to spend with the guys, we can't afford for lost days. But it's the weight room, especially the way that the lifts are worked out, where guys come in and they're able to see that physical growth. But, it's also on the field, in the classroom. We do study hall with guys, and as they see their grades jump a little bit, they start to get excited, and that's awesome for us as well. We know how important that is, and how important it's going to continue to be in our program. And then on the field, there's guys that left last spring, and we didn't really know what to expect. Then coming back in the fall, and they're just drastically better than they were. Sanders is one of those guys that he's taken jumps, and it's because he buys in and he knows what we expect. He does the right stuff. He in the weight room, on the field, takes care of business in the classroom, so we never have to worry about him that way. And he's going to be a guy for us because he buys into, getting better every single day and not taking those steps back. And we have a lot of other guys that do that as well. He's just the example that, always stands out. But that's kind of the epitome of one day better is we don't want to ever take steps back. If we can get better at something every single day, we're going to put ourselves in a good place to be successful.
That's impressive, Coach, that, in a global pandemic, where classes went online, there's, long stretches of time where, most people were, at home, that, student athletes of yours were able to stay motivated and come back in even better shape come the fall. So a hat tip to those who got it done in that unprecedented offseason. Now, the next mantra, do simple better. Tell us what that one's all about.
The best teams in the country are really, really good at doing the simple things. Baseball's a simple game that is complex at times. If we can, do those little things well, make the routine plays, throw first pitch strikes, convert with runners in scoring position, we're gonna win more games than we lose. You look on, a scoreboard a lot of the times, the team that makes more errors normally loses. There's obviously anomalies where that's not going to be the case, but a lot of times if you just make the routine plays, do the things you got to do, throw first pitch strike, pitch well, you're gonna be okay. Obviously, some of those things are a little more difficult than we try to make them sound. But those really are the simple parts of baseball. It's even to a point now where running out fly balls, just we're not gonna pimp flyouts to left field. That's not what we do. So we get on the guys a lot about making sure that we're playing the game at 100% every single time. You never know what could happen. And I said, we had one guy that did it, and I go, I promise you, if that's in the springtime and that left fielder drops the ball, you're going to be sitting right next to coach on the bench. That just doesn't fly. So we just want to make sure that we're exceptional at the little parts of baseball, and being able to do those things and be good at them.
One last ideal or value that you all use with the Brevard College baseball program was a word I had never even heard before when you brought it up to me, mudita. Yeah. Can you tell folks what that means?
Yeah, mudita is vicarious joy for someone else's success. Obviously, in baseball, where we can only put 9 guys on the field at a time, we got 40 some guys on the roster. If you're one of those guys that aren't playing, you still got to be able to be excited for when that guy in front of you does well. Same deal, if you get pinch hit for, you got to be excited when that guy hits a pinch hit home run. Or, if you get taken out of a game and that relief pitcher comes in and gets you out of a jam, you got to be excited for him. And in the weight room too, it's big where as guys, maxes are starting to go up, other guys are excited for them. And that's what I mean whenever I say that a lot of those core values are kind of built in there, where, it's like I said, it's very easy to be the guy that's like, oh, I hope he doesn't do well so I can play. Well, the hardest thing in the world is being behind a guy that's doing really, really well and still getting excited for him when he does well. And that's kind of what Mudita is, and that's going to be a mainstay in our program.
Yeah, real selfless, spirit there. So great stuff. You guys continuing to, foster those ideas. Well, Coach, before we let you go, we bring in the players. I do want to talk a little Major League Baseball with you because we had you guys on the show right on the eve of this unique shortened Major League Baseball season. There were so many unknowns. MLB was able to complete their season with a World Series and crowning the Dodgers world champions. Now kind of looking back on it as, someone who, I honestly consider sort of an expert and a diehard follower of Major League Baseball. Coach Julian, tell us kind of, your top line, impressions of this 2020 MLB season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was not just Major League Baseball, but all the sports as a whole. The fact that they're able to play and do things I'm not the biggest Rob Manfred guy, if you want me to be honest. But he was able to get it done, and they were able to get the year done, and it was awesome. I think that in a time like this where everything's so crazy, people needed sports, whether baseball, basketball, hockey, football, whichever sport is you get your fix from. We needed something, and for the season to be able to play all the way through. I know obviously some teams had some breaks there because of COVID. The Marlins were one of them there early on, but it was awesome to be able to get that in. I think I picked the Yankees as my World Series pick, so that didn't go too well. Coach Victory's Rays knocked them out, so I heard about that for a little while. The Pirates are terrible. It's okay, we all know it. Hopefully they don't mess Kumar Rocker up too bad when they take him one. But we'll see. Like I said, I was just excited that baseball was back, and I was watching like competitive cornhole on ESPN, and trust me, it's electric. But I needed baseball. I needed sports back, and hats off to the commissioners of all the professional sports for what they've been able to do, and getting that through.
Yeah, Korean baseball filled the void for a little bit there at 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern time, but eventually we needed what we're used to. Congratulations to those folks in finishing their season. Well, I know Coach Victory was hoping to join us again tonight. He had a conflict of interest and wasn't able to join us, but Coach Julian, you did a great job filling in for him. Appreciate you joining the show and all you do for Brevard College Athletics. And stick around for just a couple more minutes here. We're going to bring in the student athletes from the Brevard College baseball team. Here's Jason Jucker. Here's Noah Harris. And here is Ben Melton. Before we let you go, Coach Julian, can you kind of tell us about these three student athletes? What are these three all about? Jason, Noah, and Ben.
Man, it's actually amazing that you have Juck on here, because whenever we got here last year, he didn't speak 3 words. So it's nice that he's able to open up and get out of his shell a little bit.
Appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Juck's a junior for us, one of our captains, a guy that kind of embodies what it means to be a part of our program. Does the things he has to do, works his butt off, and he's going to end up being a guy for us because he does the right things and he gets it. Melton's that same way. Depending on who you ask, he's a little bit rough around the edges sometimes, in the way that he goes about his business. But that's just the type of guy he is. He's a competitor, and he's going to lead our staff for us, because once again, he busts his butt and does the right things. Noah's going to be a little bit of a wild card here for you. I don't know if he's going to talk too much or not enough. Freshman that we're excited about, that he's gonna put himself in a really good place to be successful and play, because he works hard, he does the right things, and he's going to be a mainstay in our program because of those things. Noah's one of the guys that we would always joke with Jucker about last year that was coming to take his job. So there might be a little bit of animosity there, but we'll see. But yeah, all three of these guys are guys that we're really excited about, and they do the right things and are going to do really well for us.
Very good. Well, Coach Julian, we appreciate you joining the program. Thanks again for your time here on tonight's edition of Tornado Talk, and we'll see you at Gilcone Field in no time at all.
Yeah, we appreciate all you do, Phil. Thank you.
All right, there's assistant coach Rob Julian. Thanks again, Coach, for joining the show, and we'll turn the page now and get to know these three student athletes. To my right, in kind of the top right position, Jason Jucker, junior infielder from Altamont Springs, Florida, Lake Brantley High School. Jason, thanks for joining the program.
Thanks for having us, Phil.
In the bottom left position, the senior right-handed pitcher from Valdez, North Carolina, Drawn High School, Ben Melton. Ben, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
And in the bottom right position, freshman infielder from nearby Spindale, North Carolina, RS Central High School, Noah Harris, making his Tornado Talk debut. Noah, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, guys, I'd like to kind of go around the horn first and just talk about this past fall. Certainly a unique situation with the COVID pandemic, and everybody is sort of, adjusting and pivoting and so forth. However, the Brevard College Tornadoes baseball team, you guys got some significant work in during this fall. Everything from, competitive inter-squad scrimmages to work in the weight room, to, individual and team activities. I'd love to kind of go around the horn and hear from each of you what you felt like the team accomplished and also you individually accomplished this fall, and take it whatever direction you like. Jason, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Phil, I didn't think it was going to happen this fall with everything going on, but we got it done. We inter-squatted every weekend. We practiced 5 days a week, and I think we got really good this fall. Everybody really competed hard because, our season got taken from us. So when we got out there, we went 100%, and I think everybody got better because of that.
Senior Ben Melton, your impressions of the fall? Oh, we actually just lost Ben, so we'll hand it over here to Noah. Noah, first semester here at Brevard College, and we're really excited to have you here. Can you kind of tell us, from your perspective, fall practice for the Tornadoes? How'd it go?
I felt it went very well. Coming in, I didn't really know what to expect, how different college was going to be, but I actually thought I fit in pretty good here, and because of COVID, I felt like we got a lot more done than I expected we was going to get, and we had a lot of practices and inter squads, and I think it helped us come together as a team more too, better chemistry.
Ben, both individually and team, what'd you guys accomplish this fall? I think we're still having technical problems with Ben Melton. We'll continue to work on that behind the scenes. But Jason, so there was also the blue-black series, correct? An inter-squad scrimmage, a multi-game series, best of, where there were some stakes involved. Can you kind of tell our audience what that's all about, how that's structured, and then ultimately how it went?
Yeah, the Blue and Black World Series is what we look forward to all fall. We prepare for it all fall, practicing with each other. And then towards the end of the fall season, me, Huntley Hacker, and then we were on the blue team, and then JJ and Ben were on the black team. And we draft players. We do a mock draft. I think the first round draft picks got a call from Coach Victory just letting them know, hey, you got drafted first overall. So that was pretty fun to do. And then we go out there and play best of 7. And everybody plays 120% out there because the losing team's got to do laundry in the spring season. So no one wants to do that.
High stakes,
especially the seniors. So the black team, they went up 3 games. The blue team was sleepy a little bit at the plate, but we went into that game 4, and we woke up. Game 5, we woke up, but then unfortunately got cut short due to the COVID protocols.
So looking to eventually wrap that up, perhaps in the spring, because you got to figure out who's going to be doing this laundry for the rest of the season, right?
Exactly. We got to figure it out. Hopefully it's the black team that's going to be doing the laundry, but hopefully we'll be able to get that done when we get back in January.
Now, before we move on to Noah to learn a little more about this, Jason, I want to get into kind of some of the details of this draft, because, the two sides suddenly putting on, general manager hats, and, who knows what kind of analytics you guys are studying and that kind of thing. Can you give us sort of the details on the decision-making and the draft?
All fall, I was looking and saying, who's going to be my number 1 overall? And me and Huntley were talking when I found out he's going to be my co-captain. And then we had the draft. We had, I think Coach Victory gave us stats for how they went during the fall. And we were just going off that, how we felt about people. And it was very competitive up there in the press box, drafting against JJ and Ben. But I think we got the better team.
Noah, you were able to witness this blue-black process, starting with the divvying up of the two teams. And then, once play got started, what was your take on the whole series?
I felt it was very competitive. I mean, we was out there having fun, but we was also competing. And it got a little intense sometimes between the games, but, I mean, that's how ball is.
Yeah, well, you got to like that kind of intensity when it's in a intra-squad situation, and it sort of gets you the feeling, hey, if you guys are working this hard when you're just playing each other, watch out once you get into USA South Conference play. Now, a big noteworthy happening around campus are these expansion projects with the facilities. You can't help but notice Ives Lamel Family Field has been expanded with a new grandstand. There's new dormitories under construction in the Villages area. And then the new field house, which is providing a new clubhouse for the baseball program. Jason, you've been around here a couple years now, and perhaps you've gotten a sneak peek already of the new baseball clubhouse. Can you tell us, just yourself, but also, what you're hearing from your teammates, how excited you are about that?
We're really excited to have the new field house, and it gets that baseball atmosphere, that major league atmosphere, to have that nice clubhouse, place where we can go before the game, after the game, just to get our minds right, ready to go out there and battle on the field.
Very good. Yeah, I know there's a lot of excitement from multiple sports, and certainly baseball is going to be a big beneficiary of that now. So, Ben Melton, we got you back here tuned in, I believe. Ben, can you hear us? Oh, it looks like some technical difficulties still with Ben's device there, so we'll continue to work on that. Noah, have you had a chance to take a sneak peek of the clubhouse?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I think it looks really great, and I think it's gonna help us come together as a team more because of the COVID, we ain't been able to all hang out together a lot besides practice. So us being able to get together and just bond more is gonna help us. I think it's gonna help us a lot with team chemistry.
And Jason, one thing I talked to Coach Julian about as well, and you're a native of Altamont Springs, Florida, Central Florida area, was how the recruiting focus has suddenly included Florida quite a bit. There's freshmen and also recruits down the line who are coming up here to Brevard College to go to school. As a Florida native who's been at Brevard College now and played baseball here at Brevard College, can you kind of perhaps send a message to, Floridians who are maybe considering Brevard College? Why is Brevard College a good fit for a baseball player from Florida?
Right, yeah. So, growing up in Florida, playing travel baseball, high school baseball, everybody down there is really good. The competitiveness is there, the talent's there, and coming to Brevard College for them to play would be a huge benefit to the program. Bringing their talent here and their drive to go out there and want to play, I think it would be a really good fit for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, as you know, Jason, it's kind of nice to be up here in the mountains when it's sweltering hot.
Exactly.
In 100% humidity down there, right?
All year long, right? Yep.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, Noah, you're from nearby Spindale, North Carolina, not all that far from us, sort of that Rutherfordton area. And, I'd love to hear kind of your experience, how you found Brevard College, or perhaps Brevard College found you, and, how you ended up being a Tornado.
Well, I played showcase for Top Prospect, and we actually came down here and had a scrimmage against another team at Brevard, and that's when I met the coaches and stuff like that. And I think Spindale is a little slept on. I think we can compete just as good as Florida can.
I like that. It's a healthy rivalry. We may have to do eventually a North Carolina versus Florida series for the stakes of even more laundry duty. Who knows what we could come up with on that one. Ben Melton, looks like we got you back here. Thanks for persevering through those technical difficulties. You able to hear us, Ben?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you now, Ben. Appreciate you persevering with us.
All right.
Tell us
Hopefully this
a little
will
bit.
work.
Tell us a little bit about that blue-black series from your perspective.
From my perspective, I thought we had it in maybe not 4, but at least in 5. Our guys definitely started sleeping a little bit, but that was okay. If we'd have had 6, we would have got the job done. So I wasn't too worried about it, but it was a good series. I mean, it got heated. Noah misses calls, other freshmen miss calls, and gotta make sure.
Yeah, it looks like some good, healthy, competition, both on and off the field when it comes to that blue-black series. Ben, I think we're going to have to continue to try to work on your connection. Jason, tell us a little bit about your academics. What are you majoring in? What are you looking to do post-graduation?
Yes, I'm a business organizational leadership major, and after I graduate from Brevard, I'm going to go get my master's degree somewhere. Maybe play, you never know. I still got those 2 years left now. But yeah, just go from there. I don't really have any big plans right now, but just continue the education.
Very good. And Noah, obviously very early in your academic career, have you, thought about a major yet?
Yeah, I actually decided to major in business and minor in coaching right now.
Very good. Ben Melton, you got us loud and clear now?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, now here we go. Now that's a nice, strong connection. So whatever you and producer Patrick Hall were working on behind the scenes there, I think we got you, up and running. Now,
well, me and Pat were a little flustered because Jucker's just at the end of the hallway and everything's, going good for him. So, but now we got it.
It's the blue team. It's the blue team.
That's right. This rivalry carries over into, all facets. You guys are even, who knows what, if Jucker is sabotaging Melton, with the Wi-Fi here or what. But
I think he is. And, Phil, us old heads, we're not too up to date on the technology like these younger guys. So
don't get ahead of yourself.
No issues for Noah Harris in that studio. Well, Ben, tell us about, the fall in general from your perspective. We talked about the blue-black series a little bit, were you able to?
Since we've been here, you could definitely tell that the impact that the coaches had on us last year when they first got here and we weren't really sure, what they wanted from us, carried over into this year, especially having captains moving forward. And then the freshmen, we were really able to show them kind of, how we do things and how the coaches wanted things done. And that helped everything run a lot more smoothly. And yeah, I think it was, the most productive and one of the more fun falls that we've had.
Very good. And, senior year now for you, Ben Melton, can you kind of sum up, what makes Brevard College special and Brevard College baseball, a special experience, for yourself, but also these, newer, younger student athletes who are heading in here, what are they in store for?
Well, for me, I mean, the relationships that you build with your teammates, not only on the field, but off the field, because I don't think I've ever gone a semester where I haven't had a class with a teammate of mine. And so, that it makes us develop a bond, not only on the field, but also off the field, and, having to struggle through a project or, stay up late to write a paper or whatever. And we show up the next day or we go to class and we have to go straight to practice. Like I've had that too. And that's something you won't get at a much bigger school. And, unless it's a freshman class with 300 people in it, you're not really going to know anybody else until you get out on the field. And, going straight from practices right into the caf to eat dinner, just to go, do homework or play video games or whatever that is. And with this year with COVID, they've grouped us all together. And so that's been, a bit different. We usually room next to guys who are on the team anyways, but, having us all in two villages has just been a blast. So.
And Ben, senior season, so you see the finish line in terms of graduation as well, and getting that Brevard College diploma. Can you fill us in a little bit, on your studies, perhaps what you're looking to do post graduation?
Yeah. So after I graduate in the spring, I'm currently in the process of applying to grad school for marketing. different schools. Right now, top of my list is West Virginia University, and it's just a year-long program. And then after that, I'll be trying to find a job in that field, hopefully with a sports team. But you got to take what you can get when you're new grad.
Very good. Well, wish you best of luck on that, Ben, and appreciate that. Some of the experience you were able to gain with the Department of Athletics as well. We were able to get some good things accomplished last year on the graphic side and the social media side. So thanks for your work there as well.
Oh yeah, no problem, Phil.
Well, fellas, before we let you sign off, I always do like giving you the opportunity to send any thank yous or shout outs to anybody who, maybe tuning into the program tonight live or watching it on replay, or someone you just want to thank, for their contributions towards your success, some along the line. Ben, the senior, we'll start with you. Got any shout outs for us?
Yes, I'll go shout out to my mom and dad. I think they're watching. If they're not, they'll probably go back and watch it later, and any other family that are watching. And then I have to give a shout out to another guest on the show frequently. I didn't give her a shout out 2 years ago, and she gave me grief for it. So Rebecca Rojas, my girlfriend, soccer goalie, I'll give one to her too. Maybe the last time I'm on Tornado Talk, who knows? So I'll give her one. But that's it.
Well done, Ben Melton, the senior right-handed pitcher from Valdez, North Carolina. Great to have you on the show, Ben, and congrats on a great career. We're not done yet, but it's been great to get to see you in action over there at Gil Cohen Field.
Appreciate it, Phil.
All right, Noah Harris, we're going to give you the same opportunity in this, your debut appearance on Tornado Talk, the freshman from Spindale, North Carolina, the infielder. Noah, any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to toss out there?
I'd like to thank my dad for getting me where I am, my family, and all my past coaches for helping me become the player I am.
Well said, like a seasoned veteran of Tornado Talk. Now, Jason Jucker, the infielder from Altamont Springs, Florida, Lake Brantley High School. Shout outs for us?
Yeah, shout out to my parents, Steve, Kathy Jucker, my sister, Riley, and my dog, Cooper Jucker.
What kind of dog, Jason?
Golden Retriever. He's been in a couple of games. Maybe you'll see him this next season.
Yeah, Gil Cohen Field. That the experience from a spectator perspective, very dog friendly. You can really actually enjoy nature out there. Along that left field line, and appreciate you bringing that up. Jason, a great spot to spend a
awesome spot.
Saturday afternoon in the spring.
Awesome.
Well, guys, Jason Jucker, Noah Harris, and Ben Melton are baseball student athletes joining us tonight on Tornado Talk. Appreciate you joining the show. Best of luck. We're heading into finals here in the fall semester. Then we'll crank it back up in the spring semester. And really looking forward to some more baseball action at Gil Cohen Field. Also want to thank assistant coach Rob Julian for joining the program as we talked all things baseball tonight on Tornado Talk, and want to thank you, the audience, for tuning in once again. We'll be back here next Monday night at 7 p.m. live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And be sure to follow the Tornadoes on social media, Instagram and Twitter at BC Tornadoes. Be sure to like Brevard College Tornado Athletics on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that little bell so you receive all the notifications for when the new videos drop. Also, if you prefer the audio format, Brevard College Tornado Athletics SoundCloud page, you can listen to these shows in a podcast format as well. Well, thanks again, fellas, for joining the program, and thank you, NATO Nation, for tuning in. Go Tornado!